calling a cyber pandemic after tens of millions of AT&T customers had personal data exposed in a data breach. The cyber criminal responsible for stealing that data may not have gotten their hands on what they were allegedly looking for. That's according to a local cybersecurity expert.
News4Jack's anchor Tarek Miner explains how you may still be affected by the AT&T attack that News4Jack's insiders aren't happy about.
News4Jax has learned as many as 220 million current and former AT&T customers may have had their personal information stolen in the latest cyber attack. A spokesperson for one of the biggest communications companies in the world saying the scale of this hack is so devastating because cyber thieves infiltrated almost every single customer's private data. Cyber thieves gained access to the data between April 14th and 25th, 2024, stealing customer call and text interactions from 2022 and 2023. The hackers did not get the names of the customers. Chris Freedman is the CEO of OnDefend and says the bad actors likely set out to steal much more.
We're speculating. I think we're speculating a little bit, but they accessed the cloud environment of AT&T. I suspect they took what they could. If they had access to other data, they certainly would have taken that as well. I think this was what was available to them.
That other data Friedman is referring to could have been customer social security numbers, dates of birth, financial banking information, and other sensitive data used to steal someone's identity. AT&T does not think the stolen information has been shared publicly, and it hasn't been revealed that the hackers are demanding a ransom in exchange for the data's return. It's the second major breach AT&T has reported this year. In March, roughly 72 million customers' personal information, like social security numbers and banking information, were stolen. The company offered credit monitoring services to the millions of people that were affected. News4Jax insiders are sounding off about this latest breach. My point of view writing, AT&T should refund all the money customers have spent with the company. Viewer Purpose writing, I'm really over this. Companies should be required to pay for account protection for 5 years because we know scammers know that compromised data is only monitored during year one. Companies need to be on the hook longer for these data breaches. What's the point of having to create a password and set 3 security questions on the account if scammers can still access the accounts? Cybersecurity experts say this cyber pandemic has no end in sight.
Unfortunately, it's not if, it's when. And often it's not when, it's when again. A breach will happen. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in. So more investment needs to keep coming in to help companies prepare for and defend against these types of attacks. Regarding this case, with phone numbers certainly being contacted on a consistent basis, whether it be spam calls or phishing social engineering attempts, is a pretty obvious marker. In other scenarios, I think where your data has been stolen and your login credentials were taken, which is not the case here, you would want to change your login passwords, things like that, and then you want to monitor your credit. You want to do things like LifeLock to monitor sort of your identification.
So with all the recent major attacks on companies, major attacks like Ticketmaster, Microsoft, Comcast, Google, Panera Bread, Ascension St. Vincent's, just to name a few, you should assume that your information has been hacked and is now currently right now on the dark web. Experts say if a company does offer you free credit monitoring, be sure that you take it and then extend that subscription, potentially for the rest of your life. It's also a good idea to freeze your credit. Kent, Joy?
Yeah, thank you, Tarek. And some great advice there because, it's been happening so often. You have to approach it as, I've probably got my information out there somewhere.
And they always talk about changing your password. What a pain in the neck.
It is.
To have different passwords for every little thing, but
it is.
obviously necessary.
Might be the right thing to do, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, thank you, Tarek.